My people, greetings and welcome to IGBO AREA TV, the voice of Igbo, where we speak truth with courage. Today's story is not just about Peter Obi. It's not even about land. It's about justice, identity, survival, and the future of Igbo people in Nigeria. Recently, a property in Ikeja, Lagos, owned by Nest Food Limited, where Mr. Peter Obi, Peter Obi's younger brother, is a major stakeholder, was demolished by unknown person. Yes, you had that right. Unknown people with bulldozers. They entered the land and tore it down without warning. No official letter. No state explanation, no known agency. But that is not even the end of it. After the demolition, these same unknown people came back in the middle of the night, this time to build a wall and quietly divide the land into two. Hey! Mr. Peter Obi spoke out. He said the court was misled by a trespasser who got an illegal possession order, not ownership. And now that the matter is in court, these same people are fencing the land secretly, as if to use it to force to, they are trying to use force to change the facts before the judge can even speak. Obi called it what it is: a direct assault on justice, a show of impunity. That kind of impunity looks like state-backed impunity. People doing something without fear, nothing will happen to them. Now, let's go deeper. Chief Emeka Okpoko, SAN, the lead lawyer for Nest Food, has revealed heavy truths. Here are what he revealed. The land was bought in 2011. The land got governor's consent in 2013. And the ownership papers go all the way back to the days of Western Nigeria. The land is legally owned by Nest Foods. The documents are registered, clean, and traceable. It is not as if rat has eaten them or old documents, these ones that are almost gone. But then a woman, listen carefully, a woman named Deborah Oluwalobong went to court, not to claim ownership, but just to get possession. And guess what? She sued unknown persons, not the real owners. Their method, note, their method. They pasted a court notice. If you're in Lagos, you understand what I mean. They pasted a court notice secretly, took a picture, then probably removed it. Nest Foods was never properly notified of what is happening. That is illegal. That is fraud on the courts. Even worse, the judgment was quietly given in 2024. But action was delayed until 2025, well beyond the legal time limits. And suddenly, a federal certificate of occupancy shows up in 2025, even though Lagos had already given governor's consent in 2013. If you're in Lagos, you understand the kind of thing I mean, how they evict people. It's a common thing. This pattern is common. People are evicted out of their house, out of the house they paid for, or where they rented and their rent has not expired. So this is not just suspicious, it is criminal.
I was correct at the impression. The first impression is that the property belongs to the company called Nest Foods Limited. Nest Foods Limited. Yes, his youngest brother is the majority shareholder of that company. That is the correct legal and factual decision. Then, that property was purchased in 2011. Governor's consent of the governor of Lagos State was granted in 2013. 2013. If you look at the deed of assignment that he was used to do the consent, you will also see that it chronicled the history of that property. Right from Western Nigeria, when the land registry was at Ibadan, you see the history of the property, up to when the last people sold it. The last people were people that were granted, or rather their predecessor died leaving no will, meaning that he died intestate. That's gone. Leaving no estate. Are you getting my point? Meaning the man died intestate. And then they did the letters of registration, regularized them, and registered them. You can see that the deed of assignment traces the history of the land entirely. And then the title was registered, I think, at 77240 something, 240, whatever. I can't remember precisely the number. It is there in the deed of assignment. I will give it to you. Governor's consent grant. Now, yes, when this new event unfolded, it came in the form of first on Friday last week. I was called upon that some people came to levy execution. I said, what happened? I spoke to the gate man there, the security man there. What did they come with? He said they didn't come with anything. I said it's not true. There was no way they would not come with a paper. He insisted on getting the paper they came with. Eventually got them to give him a paper. And I read through the Form 41. He was even talking about 5,700 wood, and the order was to recover goods and chattels. Sorry, I have not mentioned that the property, the case was between Deborah along Lobo versus persons unknown. Unknown persons.
Is it not strange?
It is doable in law, but there must be a second person who ought to be there. And then, now, I don't want to go into other because there are technical legal issues that will be fought in the open court. Now, I asked the Malam, did you do any transaction with anybody that you're owing 5,700? If you're owing them, go and pay. What happened? The Malam was insistent that he had no dealings with anybody. Talk less of the Deborah. I said, okay, we need to go to the registry, trace the origin. I then told him, you see the reason why I insisted on the document, because from the document, I could see the suit number. So I said, with this enables us to go to the registry to unravel whatever happened. We went to the registry and traced the matter to a particular court. And then we went to get the certified true copies of the processes filed in the matter. When we went through it, we discovered that she commenced an originating someone's is simply for the court perhaps to interpret a document where there will be no controversy. Circumstances where parties don't even have anything to fight or controvert. We just look at the document and interpret it. That was how the process was commenced. Again, the process, was seeking for possession of the property. Not title, but just possession. Perhaps that put me on further inquiry. We now went through the affidavit in touch, in support, and discovered that the apparent impression created by before the court was that there were squatters on the land, on the property, the first property with that building you're seeing being demolished. That there were squatters that she owned the property and that she traveled to go and attend to her husband who was sick. By the time she came back, she now saw squatters on the land. I will not blame the judge, and I stand firmly here to say I will not blame the judge. The reason I say so is that the process going through the file, we were also able to see that there was a motion for substituted service. That is, for services to be effected otherwise than personal or than on the company. Meanwhile, you can't even serve a company by substituted means. These are issues for the court. When we get there, we will pontificate and fight these things out. Naturally, again, my thinking told me, because I saw evidence of service, the property is located on what you call a corner piece, meaning there is a street here, there's another street by this other way. So what they did, from what I could see, is that they went to this other side, which is a bit hidden, first stayed on that gate, small gate there, and then my thinking too, which I believe I am.
Oboko made it clear. No new C of O can override a valid older title. If the root of your title is fake, no paper can claim it. Next Food has now gone to the court to set the judgments aside and stop further illegal actions. Now, let us ask, if this can happen to Peter Obi's family, who is safe? This is not a land case. This is a test of Nigeria's legal system. It is a warning that in Nigeria, power can steal land. Yes, people can use power to grab land, to evict people. It's also a warning that unknown people can act like government themselves. You know, the way it happened the other day, we were talking about it. Such impunity looks like, only the government can have, act in such a way. This did not happen in secret. Somebody approved it. Some agency looked the other way. Instead of looking the right way, they looked the other way. And someone powerful is backing these trespasses. And that is why we are speaking up. For every Nigerian who has lost land, property, or peace through illegal demolitions and silent operations. Now let's face the hard truth. Should Ndi Igbo continue to buy land in Yoruba states? I know some people will begin to tackle me, fight me, and you are trying to bring this. We have seen a lot of things. Apart from this case, there are a lot of cases. And if you ask me to advise, I would say no. Because this is not the first time. Igbos invest billions in Lagos. Yeah, some people will say they also make billions in Lagos. They invest billions building businesses, homes, and legacies. Yet, what do we get? Demolitions, evictions, silent intimidation. Somebody said to you he wants to have it back. Tribal politics hiding behind urban planning in Lagos. Even the government could be involved. And when we complain, they say, go back to your land. Maybe it's time to turn back home, Akuruno, and build our own cities with that same energy. Because if even Peter Obi's brother cannot be protected, then what about the trader from Nnewi? What about the teacher in Nsukka? What about the widow in Aba? I'm talking about people who own property in Lagos. Even the government has questions to answer. Why allow demolition of a property under legal dispute? Why ignore a court case in progress? Why remain silent while a midnight fence is being built? Ụfọdụ ga-asị ndị a na-alụkọ. Agwa ndị Igbo ha alụzi na ọ dịka natural progress. If the law no longer protects citizens, then people will start protecting themselves. And that is dangerous for the nation. We demand answers. We demand full investigation. We demand protection for landowners and investors, regardless of tribe. They're already telling you, after 100 years, they want to have everything back. So there's no need investing there. Come back to an Igbo and invest. This is not just about Obi, Peter Obi. It's a warning to all of us. I'm still talking about the rights. If we keep quiet today, they will come for us tomorrow. If we ignore injustice now, it will become a reality. So, we need to speak out. Post this video. Ask questions. Demand that the judiciary wake up. Demand that Lagos State stop playing politics with people's properties. Ndị Igbo anya chiri ụnụ nke a ugodo obele ụnụ na afife na-eme. Ndị Igbo, I'm talking to you specifically. The most important thing is let's build our home. Let's turn Anambra, Ebonyi, Imo, Enugu, Abia, and parts of Delta Igbo and Port Harcourt Igbo into a zone of safety and prosperity. We at IGBO AREA TV are watching, and we will not stop speaking, because in a nation where silence becomes normal, truth becomes rebellion, and we choose truth. This report is based on verified public statements by Peter Obi and legal evidence provided by Chief Emeka Oboko, SAN. We are not accusing anyone without evidence. We are demanding full justice, transparency, and respect for due process. IGBO AREA TV, bold, truth, unapologetic.